When the smoke clears, we're still standing.
Bulldog 3-3, Apache 8 November, fire for effect, over. Enemy OP on Hilltop, over.
When the smoke clears, we're still standing.
Welcome, everybody, to Everlasting Veteran. I'm your host, Ryan Landry. I am joined in studio with Okie, Oklahoma, born, I believe, and raised Aaron Blake, singer-songwriter. He's got amazing music coming out, and I have the privilege to have him on my show because he is an inspiring individual that always puts a positive message out to the world. Aaron, welcome to the show.
Hey, appreciate you for having me, man. I'm looking forward to this moment.
Yeah. So, for the listeners and watchers out there, are you originally from Oklahoma? Are you born and bred? And what's it like living out in the woods for you?
Man, first off, I'm a military kid, so I did move around a lot. As a youngster, we arrived in Oklahoma. I think it was like middle school, around there, middle school. And since then, I've been in Oklahoma, lived out, like you said, man. I'm out in the woods now. I've been in small towns, been in the city, been in different places, man. And there's just nothing like living in the country. The opportunity to stretch out, do what you want. I mean, live free, live simple. I mean, I love that. So I am Oklahoma boy, proud of it, love it. Don't plan on going anywhere either.
Nice. Yeah, I actually did my basic training and AIT at Fort Sill, Oklahoma.
Okay.
So I know the flatlands over there pretty well. It is straight flat. You come up to New England and you're going to have some a little bit more hills and bumpy roads.
A little more to see.
Yeah. It was the first time I was introduced to a drive-through package store, though. That blew my mind. We don't have that up here. So how's music going? You're starting to release some new stuff. And what is it like getting into the studio and producing and writing songs for you?
Yeah, man, this year has been a definitely one of the most challenging years I've had due to schedule and the new task that I've kind of taken on with my music. Excuse me. Before, past years, I kind of was just writing and creating, but not really releasing and collabing with different people, just kind of enjoying the songwriter process of it. Well, this year I took a chance on myself and was like, you know what, I'm ready to start releasing a little more music and just kind of see how it goes. And so my plan for this year was just to release at least a single every month or every other month and just share my music with the world and hopefully, get a response. If not, I mean, it is what it is. I love it. I'm going to continue to do it. So it's a positive message. It'll be good for whoever hears it. And the process of, studio, I've been blessed to have and to kind of accumulate things that I've needed at my house. So that way I didn't have to before, man, you're shelling out money to go to different producers, to go to different studios and weekends away, things like that. And I kind of wanted to simplify everything for myself, learn what I could and grow that way as a producer, a musician, and as a songwriter and singer. So it's been a beautiful thing, learning and growing and releasing music and getting to meet great people like you through it all.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. And it's not just your music, it's videos and content in which you put out to just let the world know who you are, who Aaron Blake is. And that's why we connected, because some of the positive videos you're putting out and the message you're putting out is, putting more positive into this world and stop being so negative when, if you look for the negative is going to find you. And That's why we connected, because, I came across your content and I'm like, man, I got to have this guy on my show. And, like, he's just so damn positive. And, I absolutely love the content you put out. And not only that, you have an amazing voice, dude. You have a gift.
Oh,
Um,
appreciate it.
yeah. And, I do have to say that some of the songs that you put up that don't have a music video or anything, a year ago, those are some good songs too. And I think the world needs to hear your voice, because you got a message, you got deliverance, and you do have that little growl in your voice once in a while. That's hard to find, you know.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
That's been an adjustment, getting used to it. I used to not enjoy it, but now I realize that's part of me and who I am. So
Yeah. Yeah, man. And one of the ones you got out, Country Life, it's a great song. It talks about unity. It talks about people around your way, community, everything else. And, if you just listen, close your eyes, and this is what I did. I closed my eyes and I listened to the lyrics of the song. And for me, it connects because, where I live in Connecticut, I am in a small town and I know all my neighbors. We get together once in a while. We look out for each other,
right.
and, I really connected with that song. So I'd like to play a short clip of it and, just kind of get your 2 cents in on it, of what inspired you to make this song and what it means to you.
Absolutely.
Bareback, midnight gigging, hog head splitting, slab slaying fishing. They say stay out them woods, boy, but something in my blood wanted more. I never listened, had to stay true to myself, forget what they felt. It turns out I got more people from around the way. No hate, oh no, and these people from around the way showed me a better way, taught me what family's supposed to be.
Man, you got a good hook with that song, man. People around the way, dude, I'm telling you that, like, I love that song. I absolutely love that song. I've played it probably about 20 times already.
Thank you, man.
I'm not joking. Like, I've been bumping it in the car, and I absolutely love it. So what inspired you to make this song?
Man, first off, thank you very much, man. You make me feel good about it. But what inspired me to write this song, I put out a video a few weeks before that, and it talked about getting rid of racism and prejudice and just everyone, community, unity, everyone coming together, like-minded people coming together. And I got such a polarized response, but not from the group. Let me put it to you like this. The majority of people fit in this big bubble, right? And then you have the extremes on both sides. And so I got such love from the bubble that it was just overwhelmingly, like, inspiring to write to those extremists, the extreme sides. So when I thought about this concept of, the country life is better because of my life experiences, I've been out here. I'm in a town that maybe has a stop sign right now. And the community, the love that I've gotten before I came out here, don't come out here. You shouldn't go out there. I should say that. You shouldn't go out there. It's not safe, or you might not be received, or what's it like living out there. There's all these fear mongers going around about what it's like, especially since the media has fueled a lot of things. But it's typically, it's not true. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not true that the majority of people are a certain way. And so when I wrote this song, I thought about all the people that I know, all the relationships that I built, all the good experiences that I've had doing stuff that, I like to fish, I like to go hog hunting, I like to four-wheel, do all these different things, man. And I mean, everybody I meet out there, it's all love. You know, we're all laid back, enjoy each other's company. Man, they give you the shirt off your back, and I'll do the same. And so I wanted to put that out there in a song and kind of display the beat and the pulse of what's actually going on where I'm at.
Hmm. Yeah, I can definitely feel in the lyrics, man. And you know, one thing with me is, you know, comedian wise, you know, when you have comedians, they make fun of stereotypes, all that kind of stuff. When you get down to real talk, all right,
Right.
you know, there's people that, you know, stereotyping type of thing can kill cultures, can
Yes.
kill communities, you know. And you know, it's one thing to, you know, have some buddies, have some friends, you know, and you know, in the military it was like that. And even, you know, friends I have outside the military, you know, from every single walk of life, you know,
Right.
like there are certain stereotype type of things that are funny, but then there's the down to earth who you are that
Right.
you can't put a label on somebody just because of their appearance. That's what
Right.
people need to understand. And you know, I look at it this way. Look at Kane Brown, all right?
Right.
Famous music artist, all right? He could easily go into R&B. He could easily go into soul, pop. You know, his roots are country, you know,
Right.
and I just bring it up because you can't, and this is the old saying, you can't judge a book by its cover. You can't assume. You have to get to know the person, you know, and even if, you know, it's just your neighbor, if you don't know them, you just know of them. And
Right.
until you know somebody, truly know somebody, you have them over for a barbecue, you have a
Mm-hmm.
beer with them, you know,
Right.
whatever. You go fishing, you know, and a lot of people don't understand is if you go fishing or you go hunting, you're honestly going to get to know somebody more, because especially if you go hunting in the early mornings when you're going to find out somebody's scared of the dark, that's for sure. All right.
That's right.
I'm just saying, if you don't know somebody, you can't put a stereotype on anybody. All right. If somebody has a certain thing in their culture, that's just part of their culture. It's not a stereotype, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
And I think, you know, and I think that's why I connect with that song so well, because, you know, where I live, where I was born and raised, I live close by to where I was born and raised. You know, and my parents, they, you know, they have a birthing field, a cow birthing field right next to their house.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, a farm that, you know, is 100 plus acres. But, you know, where I was born and raised, 10 minutes, you know, 5 minutes down the road, you cross, you know, that street light and it's a completely different town. It's a city,
Right.
you know.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
and I think that's why I kind of relate and, you know, really connect with that song. And I appreciate you putting it out, because I really feel like there's a lot of other people that will be able to connect with that song.
Yeah, and that was my hope, and that was my wish that, you know, it could capture like I talked about earlier, the bubble of people, man, the real down to earth people that are, like you said, we all have different styles, but the character of a person is what's important. We all do a lot of the similar things, same things in different ways, but it's the character, the heart of a person that really matters, and how they carry themselves, man. And you know, that comes in all shapes and sizes and forms. So
Yep.
connecting with like-minded people, that is my mission. I mean, I don't care about anything. I connect with like-minded people. If you got a mind that and a heart that wants to do right, and you know, you have a moral compass, man, I'm probably gonna rock with you. I don't care. We might have two things, one thing in common, but I bet you I'll rock with you because of that. So
Yep. Yeah, it's all about just being a good person. That's really what
yeah,
it comes down to,
yeah,
you know. And you know, I'm not a super religious person, but you know, you heard, the old Testament, old saying and stuff, love thy neighbor,
Yeah.
and and I don't go on the show and I don't preach. I'm a spiritual person.
Hmm.
But I was raised Roman Catholic. I
Hmm.
don't practice that, but I'm a spiritual person. My wife's side of the family is Native American.
Okay.
So I dive more into that spiritually,
Hmm.
which it doesn't matter. And it goes to the same testament of, it doesn't matter who you are. If you're spiritual, if you're religious, or whatever your religious belief is, if you have a belief of a higher power, and it just goes to show that you believe in something greater than you. And that just means that you need to be a better person, so that way, whatever your belief is, good things will come when you put positive energy out there.
It's true, man. There is a law of reciprocity, man, and what you put out is what you get back. And so, I mean, that's biblical in itself, is the law of
Mhm.
reciprocity. So, what you put out, what you get. The seed you sow, that's the harvest you reap. And so, with a lot of people, man, I think you're doing yourself a disservice by, like we talked about earlier, is the negativity, the constant pointing the finger. When you start looking at yourself inwardly and start realizing, we all have things that we need to work on to be better, to do better, and to, spread love, which is the key to everything. I mean, when you can look at someone and say, I cherish them like I cherish myself, you'll start reacting and doing things differently towards people. And so, I mean, that's what it's about, man. And that's what I try to convey in my music, that what you sow is what you reap. Biblical principles, like the foundational principles that transcend anything and everything. And that's where it's at for me.
Yeah. Yeah, and that brings me to next. You came out with a song called "Find God."
Hmm.
And this is a very short clip of it. And again, I mean, you can apply this to pretty much any type of relationship that you have, whether it's a friend, a female friend, a male friend, whatever, or just a friend. Just being a good person. And we're going to take a look at this.
All right.
From afar, still got tendency, riding to the core. Don't have to thank me, take it to the Lord. Need your help, I ain't canceling no more. I hope you find God before you find me. I will never be the savior that you always dream. I can't make you live, complain, so don't blame me. I'm not as bad as I'm probably sounding. I don't want to jeopardize something that you should be.
Again, man, dude, I rock with it, man. Like the beats, the music, the rhythm. I just connect with it. Just a little bit about me. A lot of people don't know. I'm not a crazy good musician or anything. I played saxophone, self-taught myself on piano, and I fiddle around a little bit with guitar. I'm not in a band. I'm not at that level, but I don't take lessons, other than when I was doing saxophone and stuff.
Hmm.
But music is in my blood, in my soul, to listen to it, to listen to the lyrics and everything else. And everything that you're putting out right now just feels like it comes from a deep place, a good deep place, a good message putting out to people. So, I mean, with that song, I mean, where did you come up with the inspiration for that?
Man, that song it is really, see, I did a lot of work with youth, and I did a lot of work with young adults, I say 21, 22, things like that. And it was a common theme, a common reoccurring theme with relationships they're going through. They come to me for advice like, hey, I'm dealing with this person, and it's not working out. And they tell me their story. And it was just so glaringly obvious that a lot of the issues stem from within. you're seeking different things, and some people find drugs, some people find, gambling, some people hop from relationship to relationship to try to fill a void or fill, you know, some emptiness or empty place that they have in their heart, and they're putting all this pressure on the other person when really it's you choose to be happy. You need to be happy first. You need to be whole within yourself first before you jump in and bring somebody else into your chaos and then say, hey, you're the issue. So it's like you're constantly looking for a scapegoat, but really it starts with the healing process within inside of you. And that kind of brought me to that song. Like, man, you need to talk to God about it. Like, find God, find somebody who can save you.
Right.
Save, work on yourself before you come and try to get into a relationship or, you know, just tie yourself to someone. And so that was kind of the inspiration for that song, man. And the younger generation has been on my heart due to, you can see how a
Yeah.
lot of things that we used to call like crazy and out of this world is just like a norm thing for them. So it's definitely, I was trying to sow some old wisdom for them.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's one thing that season one, season two. As long as I have Everlasting Veteran going, and it's a message you can spread to anybody. You don't have to be a veteran, to spread the message, and being the best version of yourself for you first.
Yeah,
is very important because you can't give 100% of yourself if you're not 100% for yourself
that's
to
right.
begin with.
That's right.
And I started the beginning of Everlasting Veteran because I was at one point in a very dark place.
Mm-hmm.
My wife, is my rock through everything. She'll continue to be in the birth of my daughter, who she's now 7. Really started pointing me in a better direction. From deployment, military, everything, and even being a police officer the last over a decade now, going on 11 years. There's a lot
Awesome.
of stuff in life that we get thrown at us that can bring us to the darkest places. If we can't find a way to be the best version of ourselves for us first, we can't help somebody else 100% or be there for somebody else 100%, and,
Right.
that's why I reached out to you because, your positive message, and being on that positive road is the positive road that, I'm striving to continue on, where there's a lot of veterans, and with music, you can connect with so many
Yeah.
different people. Music brings people together. It doesn't matter what genre you're in. It doesn't matter if you have a message through your lyrics, how you deliver them is out of this world, other godly, and, people connect with it, and you're doing it, and people need to hear you. And that's why
Man,
I reached out to you.
I appreciate that, man. And I definitely, that was one of the reasons why I got started in the music. It was there was a time in my life it was dark, like you said, it was a dark place. I wasn't a great communicator, so a lot of stuff was just piled inside of me, and then it comes out in various ways that are negative.
Mm.
But when I learned to just start writing my thoughts down, I started seeing that it was in like a poem type form, but it
Right.
wasn't actually poems. And then I would create melodies to it, and I'm like, you know what? This is songwriting, and it
Right.
started growing and bubbling out of me. And so I wanted to write songs that meant something to people and not just to make you dance or, you know what I mean? Just not
Right.
be so surface. Although I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. We all need to laugh, have a good time, dance, whatever.
Mhm.
But there's times when I wanted to listen to something, say I'm on a long road trip driving, I'm in my thoughts. Man, I want to connect with something. I always love the songs that you could connect with and it resonates within you and helps you to reflect on how you feel. And so it's been a process for me, and that's where I have taken it, and I'll continue to go, so that way I operate in my passion and with purpose. So
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why I connect, with your music and what the content you put out, because a lot of people don't realize, they may see my logo, and the main logo for the podcast is with the headphones, but it has a deeper meaning, for me, because a
mm,
lot of times, we have to hit the pause button and just listen, and
yes.
especially in the veteran community, with Everlasting Veteran. And that's why I put headphones. It's a simple message that I'm trying to put out, that, we just need to pause our lives sometimes and just listen to somebody else, because you could be that change
Mm,
when you just listen to them, or be able to, have somebody listen to you, and they just pause what they're doing and take in, what they have in life. And the one thing that I do have to say from deployment that has always stuck with me, and I find myself doing it multiple times, is I'll sit out back, on my porch or around a fire,
mhm.
sometimes by myself, and that's where I find the most peace. Not that I don't like hanging out with people,
Right.
but I get to absorb what I've created. I get to absorb what I've worked hard for, and I'm able to bring myself back to that moment to say, don't take everything for granted. Don't take anything for granted,
Hmm.
because what you create and what you establish in your life, it's not a matter of a monetary mean, of status. It comes
Right.
down to what you've created in your life, where you can be the best person and also have created success in many different avenues of approach. And sometimes we just need to pause and just listen to our inner voice, listen to the people that are suggesting, you know, good suggestions to better yourself, and not brush that off. And that's why I came up with the logo that I did. A lot of people don't, they see it as it's a podcast, so he has headphones,
Right.
does have a deeper
Awesome.
meaning to it for me. And I just kind of want to put that out there.
Man,
So,
that's good.
we did have a few people. We got I took the top three. I asked to put one question, but the majority of them are two-part questions. Uh, First one is a follower and listener, April Cryer. I hope I pronounced that right. So she says, why did he start singing, and what was his motivation to get started?
Right. That's a good question. Why did I start singing? And I started singing. I grew up in the church, so my dad used to sing a lot. So he'd be in the choir, and my mom was kind of in and out of the choir. My dad would sing around the house, and uh, he would kind of get us to sing background for him. And he'd be like, "Hey, you do this part, you do that part." And so we'd mess around every now and then singing and doing that. And I had, you grow up, you seeing adults, everybody is singing or singing in the choir, singing in the church, singing, praising God, doing all that. So you see it, and it's just you're immersed in it. And one day when I was probably about, I think I was like 10 or 11, I told my dad, man, I want to sing. And he was like, sing, just start singing. And so he came up with one line, and I forget what it was. Let me see. Oh, it was this one line he said, and he made me sing it over and over and over. It was like, I want you, dear, in my life now, or something like that. And I kept singing it over and over and over until I could actually sound decent. And ever since then, it just kind of, like I said, I started writing, and then I was able to put melodies to the songs, and I loved the way it made me feel. I loved the way I was able to release emotions through singing, and that's kind of how I got started doing the church. What was the second part of the question? Completely forgot. See, the two parts gonna get me, man.
I know. So the first part, when did you start singing?
Yeah,
And then the
it was
second,
probably about 10 or 11.
yeah, and then the second part was what was your motivation for getting started?
Yeah, man, getting started. That was probably the hardest thing for me. Everybody loves to sing in the shower, but
Yeah,
to really
Beth.
get started, hey, best solo, best wrist, best notes ever hit were in the shower. And
Yeah,
so I I really started singing and step out there was probably in high school. It was a big thing for me, man. My older brother he got a studio. He built a studio in our house, and I got to dabble on the microphone a little bit, and I started writing, started going for it, man. And that's when it really happened. I put out maybe one song in high school, one song or two in college, and then thought, let me start taking this serious. Got in with a band, and we did some shows. We come up with our EP. It was insane, man. We did an EP in 2 days, 2 studio sessions, crammed in like 8, 9 songs, and just hammered it out all through night. Sleep halfway through, but we did it, and we made some good noise with it. So I was hooked. Ever since then, I was hooked.
yeah. I've been known to be called the songbird of my generation, between Fergie and Jesus. But you know, in the shower, I get the Celine Dion notes and drop back down to Blake Shelton, and
Got it all, man.
yeah, songbird of my generation, man. I can't, there was a title given to me. Any Step fans out there know what I'm talking about. Anybody's interested to get a listen, you can head over to YouTube at Aaron Blake Music, and check him out. And make sure you go over to Facebook, Aaron_Blake. You can put in facebook.com/I am Aaron Blake and get you over to his page. Make sure you like and follow. This man is doing some great things and a great individual to top it all off. So
thank you.
I want to, what could be better than this? Two great dudes on an awesome show, which leads me into what could be better. Song that you put out. The ladies are probably going to ask, is he naked? All right, because you got you got your shot in there, and I'm just going to let everybody just take a look, take a listen. All right, here we go.
No more make believe, no more pretending. What could be better than this? Where did the days go when we used to clown around? When it was okay to laugh when they falling down. I'm just a throwback, dirt on your boots with a six.
Man, were you going for that like 90s Usher vibe there? Because dude, I tell you, the lyrics, your voice, just everybody's got to take a listen to the full song, because it really is a great song. I joke and play just because of the relevance of the show, but I tell you, man, some of the stuff you're putting out right now, I'm surprised that a year ago, 2 years ago, I haven't started hearing your stuff, and I always constantly am looking for, I like underground music. I like the underground artists because it's raw. It's raw emotion. It's not tampered with by big music industry. You're putting your heart and soul into it. It means more. And the stuff you're putting out right now, man, is amazing. Absolutely amazing. I'm not going to get into what inspired you to lay on the ground what appears like with no shirt on. But what got you into, the title of the song, and what does that song mean to you?
Man, that song is really, the funny thing is I probably wrote that song a year ago, but the relevance of it was right now for me as it relates to what's going on in the world, relates to how I'm feeling. And I was going for my inner Lenny Kravitz, type 5, just tried to change it up a little bit. But the thing about that song for me is a lot of things that were good when we were growing up is now considered bad, is now considered controversial, is common sense is not common anymore. And when I say what could be better is really what could be better than being able to speak your mind, speak how you feel, and stand by it, and not worry about opinions, not worry about what they're trying to tell me I should believe or think. And so that kind of inspired me to write it and to finish the song. There's a line in there. I'm still wishing I could be Maverick. When we were kids, we were running around in alleys and through the backwoods in the country with planes. We all thought we were Tom Cruise, man. To this day, when I watch this movie, I get chills. Like I don't know what it is, but if I could be one person, it's Maverick, man. Like it's an amazing feeling, just that pride, that heroic energy, you know what I mean? That masculine heroic energy, that pride in country and things. So a lot of that is they're trying to stifle, I feel like. And so I took a chance at, speaking against it. And as you can see, there's other people who are doing the same. You mentioned Oliver Anthony and different people like that. There's a lot of artists who are displaying those same type of feelings. So
yeah, and it's a shame, man, because I do feel wholeheartedly that our country will put their foot down, just like when the governor of New Mexico tried to infringe on the Second Amendment. That was fairly, the police chiefs came out, uproar throughout the country, and the thing is you and I and other law-abiding citizens, we follow the rules, we follow the laws. They're put in place for people that don't want to follow them. It's just like it goes back to grade school. Somebody messes up, a rule gets put in place for a reason because somebody did something to mess it up for everybody. So just because you have somebody, doing something that is illegal, or whatever, it doesn't mean that you need to paint everybody with a broad brush, and I say it in policing as well, because there's a lot of people I run into. They're like, oh man, there's some people that hate me just because I am a police officer, but there are some people that at first they do pass that judgment because I am a white police officer. And we're not going to get into the whole back and forth with that because it annoys the shit out of me. But there are some people I get done, talking with them. I have to make an arrest, whatever the case may be. And they thank me and they go, you know what? You're a cool dude. I said, that's what it takes. Just get to know somebody a little bit. And you realize that at face value, it's not what you think, and it goes to anything in life. You can't judge a book by its cover. You can't just put a title on, one thing because, you had some experience with, the next person you run into may completely change your view, and, I have this conversation, many times with family members and everything else. And, my brother-in-law, he's a former Marine. He is the owner of Rockin' Frenchies, the dog breeder in South Carolina that helped me out, donate a dog this past July. And a lot of people don't realize, like, he is an amazing individual. I mean, there are a lot of people that understand that. But you put the two of us next to each other. One, he's probably about a foot and a half taller than me. I mean, I'm 5'11", and a half. But he stands next to me and he's about a foot and a half taller than me, and he is a Pacific Islander, right? And and my niece and nephews, are half Native American and half Trinidad. He's originally from Trinidad, and we have a very mixed family, and I only bring it up because if people got to know me, got to know Ryan, right? Not the police officer, not the veteran, got to know Ryan, right? It's a different story, right? You get to know my life story, and in turn, I can get to know yours, and a lot of other people need to do the same thing because you're going to find out you have more in common with the person you thought you didn't, right? Than the person you thought you actually had more in common with. Let that set in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, there's so many fake people out there. They put an image up because that's what they think they want people to see versus just being themselves.
Right.
So what if sometimes you're an awkward individual or so what? Sometimes like you speak your mind a little bit more. As long as you speak your mind and you're truthful, you're honest and you're a good person, that's all that matters.
And that's, yeah.
Honestly, a lot of people don't want to hear honesty. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear that, it's not the right thing. You know what I mean? And I think that's what, when Oliver Anthony put out Richmond, north of Richmond, why people connected with it so much because we're sick and tired of being lied to. We're sick and tired of these false narratives, and, I saw this comedian a few weeks back and he talked about politics briefly. He's like, when the elections came around, we had a shit sandwich or a shit sandwich, and it's like, hate it or love it, whatever side you're on, I don't care. As long as you're a good person, let's be Americans together and make this country great again, and, Oliver Anthony, really put out what I think is, 2023's, anthem. And I just looked it up again, dude, it hit 70 million views.
That's so crazy, man. That's ridiculous. Yeah.
And anybody that hasn't listened to it or seen it, we're going to do a short clip just for the beginning of the song.
I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay, so I can sit out here and waste my life away, drag back home and drown my troubles away. It's a damn shame.
Dude, every time I hear the song, it speaks more. And even watching the video more, because I'm one of those people that pick up in background stuff. He's got a deer stand with the blind in the back, right? He's got a cow on his shirt. He's got the magical red beard, which it has magic powers. Everybody knows that. And
that's where he gets his voice from.
Yeah, he's fiddling away. His beard is his pop filter. That's what it is. And he's fiddling away. He's in the woods. Is his scenery, right? And the guy is just putting his heart out there.
It's so raw and authentic, man. And you can't beat that.
Yeah,
you cannot beat that.
Yeah, and it speaks volumes, especially to like anybody that listened to banjo, old school country, stuff like that, soul, even some soul music that was, acoustically driven to just bring out that raw voice. He nails it with the song, and the lyrics speak volumes. what is your take and what is your feeling? What does it mean to you with Oliver Anthony's song?
Man, you touched on a lot of it. I did a reaction video on it, and I mean, the post and the response that he got says everything you need to know. People are tired of living the way they've been living, due to the systems that have been set in place. His authenticity, the raw truth, and he just said it how he said it and sang it with such emotion and such conviction. I mean, it was easy to draw in, and his time was now because of how the climate of the country was. And so I think it speaks to all walks of life, everybody, the middle, in between, left, right, it doesn't matter. I mean, we've all seen it, felt it, and we've heard what he's talking about. And so to me, man, music like that is what needs to be mainstream and not some of this other stuff.
Yeah. Just be a goddamn American, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, the way things have been going, I mean, people were talking Civil War, people were talking,
right.
It's gotten crazy, man, and, even with the conspiracy stuff with Maui, and Oprah Winfrey,
right.
Different subject for another day. Right. And the video footage for that and whatever. There's some stuff that, is starting to come out. People are paying attention. You want to talk about like woke. I think people just kind of woke up to the fact that we've been lied to, and it's not woke America like people think it is. We're sick and tired of, the American dream, what this country is founded on, freedom of speech, Second Amendment, everything else, of people just kind of not waking up, but sick and tired of that woke America. They wanted to put a name on it. That was a new thing in 2020, I mean, for me, it's one of those things that even if you came to this country, from a different country, if you work hard, you get your citizenship, you're an American, right?
Right.
All anybody asks is just to contribute like we contribute.
Yeah.
That's it. It's a very simple task. We're not saying, oh, go back to your country. No, don't come here and like kill people. Don't come here and like commit crimes, and then think you're going to get away with it. It's just come. If you want to come here, the American dream that has been talked about for centuries is come here, or even if you're American, stop fighting with each other, right? Love thy neighbor, right? It's harder. It's harder to be angry and upset than it is to just be a good person and put good vibes out there. At the end of the day, if people just stopped and go, I'm just going to give him a hug.
Right.
And how many times have you just stopped and, talked to somebody and then you got a new perspective on what's going on? Even I ran into a homeless guy a few nights ago, and I've been working nights for, over 10 years now. And, I run into him and I've never seen him before, and every single person I run into, I always kind of want to hear their story, just because it's who I am, it's not just that I want them to feel like I'm listening to them. It's also because I kind of want to understand them. That's just how I operate. And, I'm talking to him and he's like, I've been homeless for 30 years. I'm like, man, what is that like? And I just started having a conversation. What is it like to be homeless for 30 years? Because I don't know. Right.
Yeah.
Do you like it? Is it enjoyable? He absolutely loves it.
Love it. Yeah.
Loves it. He loves the distance from people. He loves not having to deal stuff. That's his world. Whether
Right.
he's telling me 100% truth, I don't know, but he was, convicting in his story of letting me know, like, this is my life. This is what I chose, and how many other people just pass by him and go, he made poor life decisions
Or like, yes, judged him.
and judged him, and do I know everything about him? Absolutely not. In the 10 minutes I talked to him, but he was very convincing, in his story of how he's telling me, I enjoy being homeless. I enjoy the distance from people. I enjoy, living in the woods. I don't have,
living
I have
free.
a carefree life.
Mm-hmm.
And he's doing it for 30 plus years.
Right.
Who am I to say that's not the life to live?
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You can take that and bring it to any extreme you want. And as long as you just get to know somebody, then you can better understand and get a perspective, on, what even daily tasks you have to like accomplish to feel like you got through your day, and and just let that set in because, I mean, how I live versus how he lives is complete polar opposites,
Right.
Am I happy all the time? No, because I'm normal. I'm a person. Is he happy all the time? Nope. But do we love our lives the way we live them? Absolutely. Can we
Right.
coexist? Can we have a conversation? Absolutely. Can we possibly sit down, have a dinner, or a lunch or whatever? 100%.
Right.
And it just into my point of no matter what walk of life you're going through, as long as you're in that path that you want to be in, you can't place judgment on that person's life,
Right.
and it's just one of those things I just want to bring up because, I feel like people nowadays, they're just so quick to pass judgment, if it's not the life that they're living, then it's wrong in a sense,
Then it's wrong. Yeah.
you know, it boils my blood, but
Yeah. I'm right there with you.
yeah.
It,
So we do have a couple more questions. So I got Sergeant Big Country. His name's Brian Conwell. So where is your favorite place to go and get inspiration for writing your songs?
that's a good one.
Yeah.
Man, let me tell you. I'm when I'm looking for inspiration, I really don't have to look for it. I just go on a drive. I love to just go wide open spaces, no music, windows down. Um, Usually early morning or sun getting ready to go down. Man, I'm cruising. Either I'm coming back from work or I'm going, just wherever. I take that time, shut everything down, put down the phone, and reflect on some of the things that I went through in that day and that week. Um, some of the things I saw, maybe heard, or had conversations with, and it'll just come to me. It'll just come to me. And I'll just start mumbling to start singing, humming stuff, and words come to me, concepts come to me due to what I've seen and what I've heard. So there is no definite destination or place that brings me inspiration, but more of like a feeling. It's when I digress, when I kind of settle back in, reflect. And a place of reflection is where I can really hear my inner self and what's going on, what my spirit's telling me, what needs to happen, what I where I'm feeling, how I'm feeling, and how I need to portray what I'm feeling. But I
Yeah.
do write
Get
a
that.
lot of songs when I go fishing. I do write a lot of stuff when I go fishing. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. So maybe that's your one place. You just don't know it.
Maybe that is. Maybe that is. I
Yeah.
just never really thought of it. So
Yeah. Yeah. Just get that time to decompress,
yeah.
let the mind be creative,
Mm-hmm.
and just be you and let the
Right.
feelings go onto paper type of thing. So
Mm-hmm.
I do have another one. They want to remain anonymous. I don't know why. But who is your hero, or who do you look up to? That's the first one. So I'll let you answer that, and then we'll go on to the second part question.
Okay. Who do I look up to? Man, I look up to, as far as individuals, I look up to anybody who is willing to step out and be 100% authentic to who they are. Man, that takes courage. That takes balls. That takes grit. That takes, you have to be fearless to be who you are authentically, no matter who you're around, where you are, or what you do. I just think that is, this speaks volumes. I mean, that's by far a trait, I should say, as opposed to a person, but it's something I look up to. And then also, Jesus Christ, obviously, he's been the rock that kept me out of everything, showed me the way, inspired me, and helped me be a better person and who I'm supposed to be. So.
Gotcha. So I don't know if this is a two-part, but who inspired you the most to become a singer? It is a two-part. And what genre do you feel most connected to and see yourself continuing to write songs in?
Okay.
So we'll go with the first.
Okay.
Who
The
inspired
artist
you to become a singer?
who inspired me? Man, I used to listen to, there was some groups, man, growing up, like the 90s R&B was a big thing for me. You got groups like Jagged Edge and Drew Hill, and those groups, man, that were just out there. They definitely put an imprint on me. I used to listen to gospel songs from who was the man? Fred Hammond, man. That was my guy growing up as well. And then there's been Garth Brooks he caught me a little bit, man. I'm not gonna lie. Garth Brooks, when he was in his day, man, he got me a little bit. Being from Oklahoma as well. Gavin DeGraw, Anthony Hamilton, a lot of those guys, when they first came out with their music, before it became a little more industry, they were raw, and I just love that acoustic, the guitar feel with, the raspiness of voice, those type of things, man. So those are some of the people I looked up to and enjoy listening to growing up. And who did I connect with as far as like who do I see myself like musically?
No, just what
Go ahead.
genre do you feel like you most connect with and see yourself continuing to write songs in? That's a deep one.
Yeah, like that's one of those ones when you're a songwriter and you really sing to what the music does to you. I think that's been my biggest issue is I don't even know which one's gonna which one connects with me the most. And so when people ask me that, I wish I could tell you, but I know it has a little bit of this and a little bit of that in it. Yeah. A little country, a little soul, a little R&B, a little rock. I love it all, man. My music taste is very eclectic, and I like to keep it that way because my upbringing was as well. So it's all me. It's all me, and there's no faking who I am. It's what I've been around. It's how I grew up. So
so basically
I would love
so basically Aaron Blake is saying that you got R&B, now you got AB, which is its own genre, all right, and you got to go listen. He's out on
there
YouTube.
It is.
All right, A and B
yes,
is the new genre to listen to. A and B.
There it is, man. Go check it out. Aaron Blake music, baby.
Yeah, doing amazing things, man. I just want to put this up because you had country life. That is what you're going to be looking for, sitting on that truck.
Yes, sir.
What do you got? What do you got on there? You got what do you got? 5-inch lift, 6-inch lift.
6
Six.
inch. I'm surprised
Yeah.
you could tell from the picture, man. You a truck guy, man.
I had a 6.5-inch rough country lift
Yep,
with
I got a rough
35s.
country.
Yep.
I got 37 inch.
Oh, okay. Whatever.
Yeah,
Got
yeah, it's
me
a
on
big
one.
boy.
All right. Yeah. Nah, I know my lifts, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bought a let's see, when was this? 2015. I bought a brand new 15 Silverado straight off the lot, 0 miles. I said,
man.
200 miles later, I said, lift kit, tires. I bought the full skid plate kit, everything else.
Oh,
Yeah, had that for like 3 years, and then big boy upgraded to the 350 and went power stroke with it, you know.
Oh, yeah. What you got
So
in there?
I got the King Ranch, man.
The King Ranch. Oh, yeah. I love a King Ranch, man.
Yeah. So that, you know, it was one of those things. I'm like, the brown leather. I don't know, dude. I tell you, I'll never go back. that industry got me.
Uh-huh.
So
Yep. I'm hoping to make that jump soon.
Yeah, any truck guys out there, you guys know what we're talking about.
Absolutely.
So you know, we got some great, you know, intros that came out, trailers if you call them. What do you have? I know we spoke offline. You got some new stuff coming out. You plan on releasing at some point. What can, you know, your music listeners expect? What emotions you gonna bring them through?
Man, that is an awesome question. What you can expect from me is a little bit of, I'm always gonna push the lines of genres. So I like to fuse things together. So I might be a little bit closer to a genre on this next one. I'm not gonna tell you which one, but I'll kind of veer off a little bit and come back. And so what I got next, is fall. You know, fall's around the corner. Leaves are gonna start dropping here in a little bit. So I'm gonna have something to cater to that feeling, that emotion, that that laid back, vibe. I mean, that's where I can go. I am dropping 2 songs here in the next month, I believe, and they will be for. I had an EP coming out called "How About Her," and it's based on relationships and things like that. So they will be 2 songs that'll connect with those listeners that are looking for something like that. So
all right,
that's what I have. Yes, sir. It's gonna be fun, man. Y'all gonna like it.
well, hopefully Everlasting Veteran gets a little listen, be able to put it out for the crowd once you're ready to drop it, you know.
Yes, sir.
So hey, any shout outs you want to give family members, friends, inspiration, stuff like that, please take the time right now. You know, I love when people are able to you know, give their shout outs and pay respects to people that have brought them to the level that they are right now.
Thanks, man. One out to family, my friends that have supported me through these years, all the fans that have really poured into the music and finding out who I am, sharing my music. I mean, that goes a long way as an independent artist. Taking the time to even like a picture or like a video, man, that helps us out so much. Thank you for that support. Thank you for all the people who reach out to me and talk to me on a personal level. About what's going on in their life and try to figure out what's going on in mine, man. I appreciate all your prayers, all your hope, all your love you're sending my way. I do the same for you. Thank you to the musicians that I get to work with. Shout out to Ryan and other people who have came along the way and really just open up their platform to me. Thank you guys. Thank everyone. So
Amazing. You know, and you guys make sure you go check out Aaron Blake Music on YouTube. You can type in Aaron Blake. I tried it on multiple different website platforms, he's the first one that comes up because he's doing amazing things. A lot of people are looking him up. Make sure you go to I am Aaron Blake. It's Aaron_Blake on Facebook. He's got Instagram. You got Twitter?
No Twitter.
Yeah, I don't really understand that platform. But
Yeah, change.
yeah, make sure you go check him out. And I just want to give a shout out. My brother-in-law goes by Ron English. He's got Rockin' Frenchies down in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. He is a proud partner with Everlasting Veteran. We were able to provide the first service dog back in July down in North Carolina at a Man 22 suicide awareness run brought to you by Through Tragedy Comes Light, a nonprofit organization. And just today, I actually got to meet the next service dog I'll be posting on that had Meadow Ridge Wimes and Danes. The owners, Tom and Teresa Smith, came over to show me the new dog, in which we'll be donating to a veteran, 100% the training paid for. That's what Everlasting Veteran does. Make sure you go to everlastingveteran.com. You can go pick up some merch, supporting merch. You can donate. You can become a weekly supporter as little as $5 a week. It helps pay for dog food. It helps pay for training and helping any other veterans out. Listen, Aaron, I appreciate you coming on the show. Definitely, as your journey continues, I'd love to have you on for season 4. I'm starting to book out, so love to have you on. You're an amazing individual, inspiring, and like you said, positive people connect. And I hope everybody goes and checks you out at Aaron Blake Music on YouTube and subscribes. Make sure you go over to Everlasting Veteran on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Subscribe and like on YouTube, Everlasting Veteran. I appreciate you, man. And we're going to, we're going to wrap this up, man. I love having the conversations with you. We'll stay in touch.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for having me.
From the cannons, when the smoke clears, we're still standing.
Bulldog 3-3, patch 8 November, fire for effect, over. Enemy OP on Hilltop, over.